Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast. His name is Joey Cates.
His name is Jared Seymour.
Curveball. I've been waiting on that one for a while. Yes, we got a great show for you today. Jamey is in the studio here. He's going to talk to us about a bunch of different stuff. ourMShome. He's got a digital marketing agency that he works with, that he owns here on the Gulf Coast. So we're going to talk all things digital marketing, man.
Yep.
But before we do that, we're going to mention the sponsors, man, the people who support us and we support them. It's no coincidence that we work with these businesses because we're super proud of all of them and we use all of their products. Rolling right out of the gate. Maybe you need your teeth cleaned. Maybe you don't have a great local dentist. Maybe you've never been to the dentist. Maybe you're afraid of the dentist. Maybe you have little kids and you don't know which dentist to take them to. 5 and up, I think. I don't want to throw Bob under the bus here. I don't think he does pediatric like young. But at 5, 6, 7 years old, Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. Look them up on Facebook and Instagram. You can get a feel for them before you go into the office if you would like. They are active on social media. If you like the traditional website route, you can also do that. This is him and his team right here, by the way, for the people watching on the live stream.
Picture.
That's right. If
He's the one in the middle.
Yeah, if you didn't know. If you're listening to it on the audio podcast, jump over to Southern Magnolia, there it is, smiles.com, and you can see what we're talking about. And if you want to make that appointment, like we were mentioning, just give them a call on the landline at 228-215-1202 and tell them that we sent you, man.
Yep.
Moving right along. Joey and I have been talking about it now for about 2 episodes. We're super proud that we won an award we didn't even know we were in the race for.
Congratulations.
A local Addy Award, I believe is what it was.
Addy, yeah.
That's right. That's Jesse Hill and his team at Hill Tree Marketing. Jesse built out our website for us, and he did a great job. He entered us into the 2022, that's this year, right? Addy Awards, and we won Best of Show for websites, I think, and a first place in another category for advertising or something. I'm not sure.
That's still going on too, right?
Yeah, I guess we move up to the next round. Yes,
yeah.
But if you're a local guy and you need website design, IT work, cinematography, photography, aerial drone cinematography, reach out to hilltreemarketing.com. Tell them that we sent you. Tell them that you want a consultation. See what they can do for you. Maybe you have a local business, something on Etsy. Maybe you're a content creator. Whatever it is, go check them out if you can use those services, man. Jesse's super easy to work with too. So
yeah, he's got a great team over there.
That's right. Moving right along, our buddy Vince, man, over there at Saltwater Fabrication. We keep telling you need to listen, okay? He started out in custom T-top work, does a lot of marine work, is where he cut his teeth, but he's branching out now and doing all kind of custom metal work. If you need something built out of metal, I guarantee you he can do it. Check this out. Right. My mouse is not cooperating. Here we go. Check this out.
Maybe he can build you a mouse.
Yeah, he can build out of metal. Neon Moon, they keep getting the free plug over here because he built them a table, man, and check it out. He cut their logo right into it. Maybe you own a restaurant, maybe you want something fancy looking for your shop, man. Reach out to Saltwater Fabrication at 228-229-8855. Tell him Brown Water sent you. That's his direct cell phone, so you'll be talking to the man. Yeah, he's got merch for sale too if you're into that kind of thing. Those hoodies are legit, and he's got t-shirts, man. So super proud to have him a part of the show.
There.
Yeah,
rocking his own.
Is that
gear.
him?
That's him. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was his brother.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know.
Close enough.
All right, so now that we're through that, Jamey, man, what's going on? How are you doing today?
Man, just enjoying this awesome weather we're having.
Beautiful.
It's a little blustery outside.
Yeah, a little nippy.
Nippy is a good word. The wind is cutting through all jackets like they don't exist.
Well, last week, everybody think on Facebook, or at least what I saw, was getting their boats ready and ready to jump back on it, the sleds. And then today it's 30 degrees.
Who shared the meme?
25 mile an hour winds.
Winter, fake spring, winter's back with a vengeance, and then it's like deception spring. Yeah, exactly. That's
I took my boat out last week and got it gassed up and ready. And
did you?
I got the itch because it was nice and warm, and then looked at the forecast, and
I think I saw last night on WLOX the offshore forecast was 14 to 25 foot seas.
Wow!
So if you ever want to see how good your boat was built last night,
if you want to know if you got a wet or dry boat,
I'll have to pass on that.
Yeah, I'm at that age now where if it's not
good
weather, I don't need to be out there.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting and going through emails the other day, and I noticed an email from ourMShome. Click on it. I'm not putting together the backstory that we'll get into,
right?
But click on it, and the first thing out the gate, it says positive news stories along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, right? I start scrolling through and I start reading them. I think it was an article about Pastor Shan and where it gets the name from or something like that. Kind of went through the email and I'm like, man, this is super cool. This is badass. So I was like, I'm gonna reach out and just see who's running this and if they'd be down to do a show. Turns out it's you. We've already spoke before.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Joey reminded me at the Pascagoula barbecue, downtown barbecue with the Pascagoula Men's Club.
Right.
Yeah.
And but no, man. So I wanted to reach out because I think it's such a great, just that newsletter. And I know y'all are a lot more than just that. But let's start there. Like, what's the inspiration behind that? Why do you do it?
So, the newsletter has kind of been the redheaded stepchild of our Mississippi home.
Okay.
No offense if you're redheaded or
a stepchild.
stepchild.
Yeah.
You know,
My
no
child's
offense.
redheaded. You're allowed to say that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But anyhow, I guess I got back into it, about a month ago, just kind of sending it out because we do have a pretty big email list and we just never have utilized it. And our Mississippi home has actually been around for a while, and it's changed brands a little bit. It first started as Jack's Go Home, and it was a project between Chevron and an ad agency here in Ocean Springs that I ended up getting involved with it through the ad agency, ended up taking it over, and it was Jack's Go Home, which it was Jackson County specific. Chevron underwrote the website, and it was the model was that we had the community submit stories to it. Well, it sort of worked, but people barely check their email most of the time. So we had to, one of my first priorities was finding talent. Some of the people that could actually write some of the content and the whole catalyst behind the good news was we had to find people that actually were in the community doing stuff.
Right.
And so we launched Jack's Go Home was already started. I came in, built the new site, built the new structure, built the new model, and started corralling these content creators or journalists, basically.
Right.
And it
digital media people.
Exactly. But I had a background in doing that already that we can talk about in a minute. But I landed on a couple of old Mississippi press writers. And I reached out to them. I said, would you be interested in doing this? And it was immediately yes.
Is that the one that closed up shop?
It's kind of Gulf Live now. And, but it's still a small publication. But some of the old writers that used to be from Pascagoula, it was easy to find them because I'm in Pascagoula. And so it was Jack's Go Home. When it became our Mississippi home, I was talking to Coastal Mississippi and Visit Mississippi, the tourism, big tourism.
Gotcha.
Mississippi. And they liked it, and we were trying to get support for it. But the fact that it was strictly Jackson County, kind of was like, we're trying to promote the whole area. And so I said, okay, well, we'll call it our Mississippi home.
There you go.
And include everyone. So it is a statewide publication, but I would say our focus is on the Gulf Coast. But we try to talk about Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Southern Miss, Delta State. We try to bring, especially during sports time, we bring their news feeds into our Mississippi home, as long as it's positive.
Yeah. What was the decision to make it positive? Is there an underlying meaning behind that?
That's how it was birthed.
Okay.
Chevron, when they wanted to, they're great community partners. If you don't know already, Chevron's awesome, and they want to pour back into the community. So what a better way to control the narrative of the Mississippi Gulf Coast with good news, because there's already plenty of bad news
everywhere you look, unfortunately.
So it's kind of like, it's a nice break, and it's something that people want. It's something that people are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where else can you go to find out where the best king cakes are?
Right.
Where the best fish to fry, and I mean, I don't think it's fluff articles. I think it's articles that are of human interest that people gravitate to because they're like, oh, wow. And when from beginning to now, like our organic search is just exponentially increased. I mean, we pull in people to the site from Houston, Baton Rouge, South Carolina, New York. I mean, it's pretty cool to see how many people are landing on this content.
It almost sounds like when you go visit a town, and if you go to that town, you have somebody that lives there that you're friends with. Like if we go to Nashville and see Brandon, they can take you to all the cool spots and show you all the cool stuff that you might otherwise miss if you didn't have that chaperone, I guess would be to say. It kind of sounds like that's what you're doing in a digital sense. Is that right?
Yeah. We were really heavy economic development stuff coming out of the gate because we were, we were partnering with Chevron. We were trying to partner with some of the Chamber of Commerce's And we were bringing in a lot of this economic development stuff that was happening on the coast. It's still happening. But we kind of, at the start of the pandemic, we kind of went into crisis mode, and we started trying to keep the good news flow, going. But we took more of a touristy turn, and started doing some listicles and some just mix it up a little bit, and it's worked out really well. We still have the education and the sports and the economic development sections of the website, but we're trying to get into the people aspect, because Mississippi's greatest asset is the people.
Correct.
And the culture, but that is the people.
Right. Sure. And so when you tell a story about, like this last story, I think maybe the newsletter you saw, we did a story about Dorothy Shaw over at Ingalls. She is a dynamic person. I mean, she has some really cool stories, and that article got like 1,700 reads in the first 2 days. So it's kind of cool to see that people want this kind of content. They want to read good news about the people and about the area, and we throw in a little bit of like, oh, by the way, did you know?
Factoid, like a little factoid, yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of like what we were trying to do with the in the fishing category. We wanted to bring everybody to our website, and so when you go looking for a charter boat captain, we got all the charter boats right there. So you're kind of doing it for anybody in Mississippi. So before you come visit Mississippi, go check out this website, and this is all the hot spots. This is where you need to go. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. And I honestly think that there's a lot of good things to tell. You can walk down the street, and within 50 feet, you've got 10 stories. Everybody's got a story. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what we thrive off of. We try to rely on, and when we're out and our writers are out, it's gotten to the point where I don't even have to tell them what to write anymore. They'll just go out looking for good news. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because now you're looking for positive things instead of the negative.
Man, I love WLOX. I think they do a great job, but damn, it's all negative. And don't even go to like ABC or, Fox. I mean, it's just all day long, just negative. It's like, I know there's positive stuff happening in the world. Why can't we get a little taste of that,
Yeah. Well, not without naming names, because local news, you got to have it.
Right.
But we're just kind of the
everybody loves a train wreck.
Yeah. Well, that's for sure.
True. Yeah. We're trying to be the opposite. So, the alternative. And, that's one of our initiatives now is trying to get into small businesses to support the website, because we're, COVID is taking its toll on everyone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, businesses are hurting, and now more than ever, we need to tell their story, and we need to partner with them. And so even like y'all's podcast, I mean, it's an honor to be here, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on.
Any exposure that we can give to you guys.
Correct.
Let us know.
We would love to partner up in any way.
That brings up a good point about the small businesses. There's a ton of good restaurants, local businesses that you hardly hear of, because like if you're in Pascagoula, a lot of people don't get to Bay St. Louis. If you're Bay St. Louis, a lot of people don't come to Ocean Springs. So having your platform and you can kind of reach out there and show that to them before they make that 30-minute drive and get lost in traffic. They can go right to it.
Yeah.
Anytime we put up a picture of crawfish or talk about Bozo's in Pascagoula or some other, place that does real good coastal seafood, the engagement goes up. And something interesting that's funny is still to this day, one of our highest shared and engaged stories was about the blueberry farm in Van Cleve, because nobody knew about it. Nobody knew it. They're like, wait, I can go pick blueberries? Yeah. Gallons. Yes. They last you for a year.
Yep.
But it's fresh blueberries. And still to this day, I mean, that lady, for 2 years before the pandemic would call me, y'all coming out to do a story?
Yeah.
We'll be out there.
No joke. But you mentioned it a minute ago, kind of touched on it, but what's your background? How'd you get into all this?
So really so I went to film school.
Love it.
Where at? Full Sail.
Okay. Our last guest went to Full Sail.
Yeah. So, I was in the Navy, got out of the Navy, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. There was not a big market for rescue swimmers in the civilian world.
Is that what you did?
Nice. Sweet.
So went to Southern Miss, played football for a season at Southern Miss, and got injured, and then tried to say, well, I guess I should try to figure something out.
What position did you play?
I was a kicker, man.
Nice.
I almost asked kicker. I almost asked that, but
I got that kicker.
you got that kicker vibe.
Kicker vibe. Okay. All right. Yeah, I pull a hamstring if I try to.
Well, that makes
stretch too
sense
much
with the
now.
swimming, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you got it's a leg.
Well, I
oriented
was a
thing.
soccer guy back in
Yeah.
high school. But I was a kicker, got injured, got into radio, TV, film at Southern Miss. So I
Yep.
cut my teeth there, and just life happened and moved away from Hattiesburg and took a break from school. And I started being a photojournalist up at WAPT News up in Jackson.
Okay.
And that's how I learned how to shoot and edit and that kind of stuff. Wanted to do more. So I moved to San Francisco to go to film school and realized real quick that it was a little expensive to live there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, $100 does not mean
Nothing.
anything.
Yeah,
in
and that was
San
then.
Francisco.
And
Think
that
about
was-
it today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So ended up at Full Sail. That's where I finished film school. And at film school, I did some films, did some projects, and then I moved back here and I started working for the Air Force as a contractor doing multimedia for out at Keesler.
Okay.
And just as a contractor, saw the writing on the wall when the administration back then was cutting contracts. So I just took the leap of faith, went out and created my own agency, and I basically learned how to build websites. Get this, by customizing MySpace profiles for people.
Okay.
Sweet.
That's how I learned
Yeah.
HTML.
Yeah.
And so
Adding favorite songs to your Facebook
yeah,
page,
exactly.
Top 10,
MySpace.
yeah.
Yeah.
and that was right as social media was starting, to take off. And Facebook had just launched. It was before the peak. Got into it, and through a door that God opened for me, got into films and the Christian market. So I was on the marketing side and learning. It was still so young. Social media was a big unknown, but you had to have it.
Right.
And so I got into that and I started building these websites for all these Christian producers. And I've worked on tons of films and just kind of in the background and been on set for a few and worked with some cool people. It was pretty cool. Came back and, with my agency, and then this ad agency in Ocean Springs I'd contracted for. That's how I met the person out at Chevron. And when they wanted to make the change with what Our Mississippi Home, Jack's Go Home was doing, she reached out to me, and that's all she wrote.
You've been there with them ever since.
I've been with it ever since, and it's kind of a labor of love at this point. I still think that the potential for it is just crazy.
Yeah.
We have great stuff down here like South Mississippi Living. This is a digital kind of thing, but that magazine's great for the coast. You have, there's several.
Is that
Gulf Coast Woman?
Is that under your umbrella, or these are people that you work with?
No. It's just I'm talking about
Just
positive,
examples.
just
Yeah.
positive
Gotcha.
stuff. But we kind of try to take that into Our Mississippi Home and just kind of smorgasbord it.
Correct. Funnel it
and-
out for everybody.
Yeah, and just make a digital form because everybody's on social media.
That's
So
right.
so we have a pretty strong social media platform. It's been up and down over the years just because of trying to find people that can help.
Right.
Yeah.
And we finally got this really awesome crew. Our content director is actually up in Tupelo, and our editor in chief, he was down here. He moved up to Jackson, and he works for Super Talk.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've got a lot of close ties.
We've been on the show. We was on Super
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah.
Pretty
So I helped build Super Talk's website. So with my agency background, I just got into that and kind of just self-taught. I do have a degree in communications from Liberty, and that's it, man.
love it,
That's
man.
my
That's
digital
awesome.
Yeah.
marketing background. But now I also am a marketing director for a healthcare company here in Ocean Springs. So
Okay.
So that's your main gig
yeah.
Yeah.
for right now, huh?
Well, you never know where
Yeah, I
God's
hear
going
you.
to take you. Who
I hear
knows?
you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And that's communications is a skill that transfers to many different
Everything,
styles of
pretty
business,
much.
right? Everybody's got to get their message out.
yeah. Well, when digital marketing and there's a lot of there's a lot of marketing and advertising agencies that sell digital,
Mhm.
but they really don't know what they're selling. I am a Uber data nerd.
Mhm.
So I'm a Google partner and a Facebook blueprint guy.
Okay.
And so when I get into analytics, I kind of get lost. It's
Do you know
numbers,
how? Are you
numbers,
good
numbers.
at running Facebook ads, targeted ads, and all that kind of stuff?
absolutely. I'm a
messed-
marketing partner.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, then maybe
Yeah.
we need to talk.
We need
man,
some help.
yeah.
I've got behind that business manager. You log in and it's all the stuff, and I've done it before, but I just don't know if I'm doing it the right way.
Well, a
You
lot's
know?
changed.
It has. It has.
Apple iOS 14
Correct,
has
correct.
made our
Life
life
hell.
difficult.
Yeah.
But there are loopholes and ways, and audience segments and things like that. So
Correct.
So our Mississippi, as that pertains to our Mississippi home, I've built these segments of audiences. Like if I ever get a marketing budget that I can do, I can just target people and with content that they're interested in.
Are you for hire? Like, just say, for instance, if it was us that wanted you to run our Facebook ads, can companies reach out to you at ourMShome or through your marketing agency to do that?
Yeah, they can. They can. I'll be happy to talk to anybody about helping them. I'm kind of one of those guys that tries to help people because I've got other stuff going on.
Right.
But if I've got time, I'll jump in and work with people.
It's
DCM.social. That's my website.
Okay.
DCM.social.
It's such a valuable tool for local businesses. I mean, I'll go around and look at some of their Facebook and social media presences for businesses that I know are like really good restaurants or really good whatever.
And it's nothing.
And they're not very active on there. And I'm like, man, you realize like people are on their phone all day long. Like,
it's like a picture of their menu.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't run traditional, radio ads and television ads, but damn, don't sleep on Facebook. Not in this day and
You
age.
can't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but
and it's all a content game. So I mean,
Yes.
if you've got somebody that is good at content, to keep them happy, because the way that the algorithms work in Facebook and any social media is that if you're not producing content on a regular basis, it's not getting seen.
Not gonna get
Right.
it out. Yeah.
And so the content is king. I've been saying it since 2015 that companies
post.
Company and blogs,
Right.
if you're not writing a blog, you should be.
Yep.
Because Google will pick that up and people will find you by accident that they didn't know and they weren't even looking for you, and they'll find you.
Mhm.
So it's a content game. And the thing is a lot of these kids coming out of school, they're getting in entry-level jobs, and the minute that they get in their groove, the technology changes.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
we talked to some people at the boat show who were doing TikTok.
TikTok is
Oh,
killing
And
it.
they were
Absolutely
giving us some
killing
of the
it.
numbers as far as like financials about what this makes for them. And,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
it's stupid money.
oh yeah.
For 10-second videos, 3-minute videos max. I mean,
I will get lost in TikTok. It's the vortex of vortexes.
it
That's
is.
it.
It is. And it's interest based too. So
Yeah.
it's going to show you not what you follow, but what it thinks you like. So
Right.
for ours, it's all,
Yeah.
boats,
Fishing,
smoking, cooking,
yeah,
this whole
yeah.
nine or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, you mentioned about kids coming out of high school or going into college, and it's like going and getting an education, which you should do. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's other kids out there who aren't doing that, and they're making more money than damn
Gaming,
doctors and
streaming.
lawyers. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah. Somewhere along the lines, people have been reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So-
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes, that's
So
true.
it's good. I mean, education is everything, but there are some things that, I mean, getting an education, they teach you stuff in school. I went back actually when the pandemic started to finish my communications degree from Liberty, did it all online.
Yeah.
It was just a personal thing that I wanted to finish, but I built my business and everything by
Trial and error.
trial and
Yeah.
error.
And YouTube, I bet. YouTube's a damn good tool for any.
YouTube University, bro.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can get a lot of stuff off YouTube, a lot of education, and there's even sites now that you can go to that you can get higher than degree level training.
Right. Yeah.
It's like just buy
Well,
my course.
Yeah. I like the point you brought up about making your own audience, and I think that is number one, especially like when you look at the Joe Rogan situation. Like, he has enough following that he could be cut from a company and go to the next company just like that because he's got his own audience. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
It's kind of like it's backup.
Yeah. Well, the day and age of how companies are set up now, it's changing, and the smart companies are embracing it, and
Right.
they're understanding it. And so now you have more people working remote. You have more people, and people thrive off that. If you give people space, they are going to produce, and it's proven. There are some things that you have to have proximity, like healthcare and,
Right.
and hospitals. You can't do a surgery.
Unfortunately
for-
not.
But it's amazing to watch the cultural shift of what's happening. And one of the things that blows my mind is that kid on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but he does all the toy reviews. So all these,
Oh yeah, my kids watch it all the time.
yeah, they send this kid toys and he makes millions of dollars, and
Right.
he don't even, he just
My
probably doesn't even know.
My
what he's-
5-year-old is literally watching a video yesterday, 8 million views. It's only been up like a year or two, right? 8
Mhm.
million views, and it's literally like a handheld, not a great camera, you can tell, but cell phone probably.
Yeah.
Playing with a stuffed animal and cutting a pumpkin open and scooping out the seeds, and it's just silliness.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then you go to their page, they got like 10 million subscribers, and you're
Right.
like, I know what they're making, not exactly, but I know it's a lot more than you would think.
Oh, yeah. Well,
crazy.
there's a kid over in Pascagoula that I helped them a couple of years ago. Anyway, his dad filmed him in Universal Studio, not Universal, yeah, whatever Disney World is.
Yeah,
Well,
Orlando, over in Orlando, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he was dressed up like Kylo Ren, and he was walking through the park, and like all the stormtroopers stopped and did like a full.
Oh yeah, I think I
thing.
saw that.
Yeah. Like 15 million views.
Are you serious?
And I was like, man, here, let me help you out. So
Yeah.
got them, and every Christmas they come around and thank me for helping them. But that was awesome to see some little kid right from our neighborhood.
Right.
Did he go continue on with it, like make content and stay?
I don't think so.
He was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah,
So that's better than a no-hit wonder.
Hey man, it
Yeah.
helped his college fund.
Hey, no doubt.
I bet that's awesome, dude. What else about the Gulf Coast? You mentioned the blueberry story. What's another like little gem that people may not know about? We can let our audience kind of turn them on to.
Let's see. There's a lot of cool things about every Halloween we'll do like kind of like a spooky story.
Okay.
And so there's a series of graveyards all around the coast that if you Google them, they come up as like the top 5 scariest places in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And one of them is in Gaucher. And it's I really want to be careful because people get run out of there so much. But anyway, it's this old graveyard that's on the bayou, and there's no road to get to it. But you have to know where you're going to find it. But it's like a circle of all these huge oak trees and all these headstones underneath these oak trees.
Yeah, cool.
And it's a little overwhelming when you first see it. You're like, ooh,
Probably shouldn't be here.
yeah.
But one thing about down here on the Gulf Coast, I mean, City of Ocean Springs, Biloxi, Gaucher, I would assume. I don't know about these are older than the U.S.
They are. There's
right?
And another great story we did was about Al Capone's old place over in Ocean Springs. That was interesting.
And all these stories, if they want to go back and find them and look at them, are on your website.
They are. If they just go to ourMShome.com, there's a search bar, and they can just search, just whatever they. If it's out there, we probably have a story on it. We just did a story about Dog Key Pass. If you
the
go
roughest part of the Mississippi Gulf
well,
Coast.
it's real shallow right there. You can it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's only like 3 feet deep. A lot of boats get messed up over there.
The Isle of Capri.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
That's
There
it.
used to be a fountain out there, right?
Yeah, natural spring.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's supposed to be still marked, but it ain't marked on none of my GPS.
No, I mean you can
A lot
see
of
it on the
cobia out there.
you can see it on the contours, but yeah, that was a cool story. We just trying to find the weird and unusual and
share it
that's
out,
cool.
and the good, the food, right?
Yeah.
The good
Oh
food.
yeah,
Well,
the food.
I think
we have one of our food bloggers, Julian Brunt, and he's like nationally known.
Really?
Yeah,
Sweet.
he's right here in Ocean Springs, but he was I can't remember. My content guy can tell you everything about him, but yeah, he writes food blogs for us, and one of the coolest stories he did was on gas station food.
I think I've heard of maybe more people than
Yeah,
just want to do
people-
that, but I've heard of that before.
People don't realize, but Fayards.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
Somebody-
Well,
Yeah.
what's the meme? It's like they got it circled, and it's like Louisiana, Mississippi, and Lower Alabama, and it's like this place right here. You can walk into any gas station; it'd be better food than you ever had in your entire
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So-
somebody asked me about a po' boy on Washington Avenue, where to go, and I was like, don't pass up Fayards because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
legit, dude. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
going to let you down. I've never been let down by one of their po' boys.
I don't recommend gas station sushi, but
No.
Yeah, I don't think we have
Yeah.
a lot of that down here. I don't think. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
The first place I saw y'all was at the Ocean Springs Marine Mart tournament, fishing tournament. one of your guys was out there, and he actually interviewed me and my wife, and we had
Yeah.
a booth set up out there. But what I wanted to bring up is I called Jared one day, and I was like, do you see these football games? It's like somebody's doing the Pascagoula and Gaucher football games, because that's what we wanted to start doing. I was
Yeah.
like, how do they get this? And then we figured out it was y'all that were streaming them, right?
Right.
So that's what we wanted to get behind.
Well,
and I was like,
we partner with WGUD, Tim Wall.
Okay. I've heard that name.
Yeah, he does the streaming for Pascagoula and East Central, but they play all the coastal cities. So there's 2 games every Friday night from East Central, Pascagoula,
right.
playing, and the commentators are either East Central or Pascagoula. So, the Biloxi fans don't necessarily like all the commentators for that one team, but they do call the game, and people can go there. And we did Friday night football this past year with WGUD.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool that they stream the high school stuff.
Well, a lot of it, because I know a lot of schools are in the MHSAA, and they have to show, once you get in this, I guess, on their website, it can only be broadcast to them. So they sell tickets and stuff like that.
So they can still make some money off of it.
Correct. So I guess Gaucher and East Central is not in that. I don't know how it works.
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Tim and I was like, hey man, let me stream to my platform, and your sponsors get double the exposure. We get good content. So
win-win.
For sure. So where do you send people? What you're most active on social platform?
Facebook is our number one refer, just because most of the news people, people that look at that stuff are on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We have kind of a different format on Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram's been our kind of one of those projects that it constantly evolves, and we're like, well, there's got to be more than just pretty sunsets on the Gulf Coast. So,
yeah. Well,
so we've tried to do location and
the reels. I don't know if you're messing with that.
Yeah.
We're into reels. We've gotten into reels, but it's not, so we do have a YouTube as well. This was before the pandemic. We did 3 mini documentaries.
Okay.
One was Jerry St. Pay, the other was Barry Lyons, and the other was Corey Christie. And
Corey's been on the show.
Yeah.
Big fans of Corey.
Yeah. You got to go see these videos. Like I brought my experiences producing and film, and I've got a guy that helps me shoot, and together we put together these 4-minute segments, and they're amazing. They tell the story, and the St. Pay family. I'm holding on to that footage for the day that they need it, but there's just some really dynamic people on there that their stories just are not known, and that's what we'd like to do. So that's one thing that we're trying to get started back. We're going to start doing these little mini documentaries of just people, and we're looking for people with stories and people that love the coast.
What, aren't they shooting a big film down here with O'Keefe, right?
O'Keefe,
Jerry O'Keefe.
They are
down here. They're
about
shooting
the business,
about how he. I don't know the whole story, but I guess he was connected with a Canadian funeral home, and he had a lawsuit or something against. I don't know if this is the right words I'm using.
It's got a couple big actors.
Yeah, it's got shooting it in Gulfport right now.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
okay, I've been seeing that. I just didn't know it had anything to do with the funeral home.
It's Jerry O'Keefe is what it's about. I don't know the name of the movie.
It's pretty cool. They've been around for a long time.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money he got out of that Canadian bunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
a lot of it.
Okay. Need to partner
Check
with
it out.
or sue them or whatever it is I need to do. So, but yeah, all right. So we're going to send people to the Facebook page, our MS Home. You also mentioned the website, ourMShome.com.
Yep.
Right. And how do they get on that newsletter? How do they get the email list?
So there should be I will check. There's a pop-up on the website that after about 10 seconds, it'll pop up and say, do you want to subscribe? And they can just subscribe, and they'll start getting the newsletter. And we just try to keep people up to date with what's going on.
I think you should go sign up if you're listening, watching. Man, getting positive news from local is it's good. It's stuff. Refreshing.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, then our plan is working.
Right. There you go. There you go. Well, look, thanks for stopping by today. Middle of the day on a Saturday at short notice. We do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And thanks everybody for watching us on the live. Man, if you enjoy what you're seeing and you like the content, smash the share button, give us a follow, hit that notification bar, bell, whatever platform you're on. And people in the podcast land, thanks for listening too, man. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Yep.